All right. Hello, everybody. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to get on here live with me. And then I'm sure there's going to be some other individuals that are going to be joining us as well. So if you are tuning in, my name is Puya from Orange County, California. If you're catching us here live, I want you to go ahead and just put in the chat box below the word live. I'll do some quick little shout outs because I see quite a few of you that are actually joining in here with us live. So hello. And then if you're actually catching this on replay, I'd love for you to also in the chat box put the word replay, because I like to come back through this after I do something like a live and I share something and I just kind of share some love, and I just love to see who's here engaging with everybody. So I did a video yesterday and I had a lot of engagement. I had a lot of people that sent me some private messages. One, just acknowledging the importance of having a positive mindset and having a positive language when communicating with yourself. But I also had quite a few people that reached out and talked about the difficulties of having that positive language and that positive mindset, especially when there's the existence of limiting beliefs. So I thought I'd jump on here and just share a message that I've shared with quite a few of those individuals about what I do and what I've learned to do to overcome limiting beliefs. And a lot of what I shared yesterday is actually applicable to this right here, because when you think about these limiting beliefs or these limiting thoughts that are showing up on a day-to-day or a week-to-week basis, these are simply thoughts that you have had over on repeat, and you've put a lot of focus, you put a lot of attention into it. And if you ever imagine, the face of the earth and these hiking trails, the more and more you walk that trail, the more you create the grooves inside the earth, and the more, evident the hiking trail becomes. Our brains and the neural pathways and the thoughts we create daily work the same exact way. So if you've had that limiting belief and you've played it over and over again, what it's done is it's created this groove in the brain, and we just want to essentially break that pattern. So yesterday I talked about affirmations, auto-suggestion. We talked about incantations. These are all things that I do on a daily basis, and I help coach people through to be able to break some of those patterns and to replace it with something more empowering. Another thing that I've learned from my mentors is 10 pages of a good book each and every single day keeps the bill collectors at bay. So what are the self-development? What are the positive books that you're reading on a daily basis to make sure that you strengthen the most important muscle in your body, and that's your brain? All right. I'd love to see maybe even in the chat box one of your favorite books that you recently read, or maybe even a book that you're in the middle of reading as well. Because I'm always looking for recommendations and suggestions. So the other thing that I also want to throw out there is associations. If you're around 5 motivated, can do, will do type of individuals, chances are you're bound to be the 6. If you hang out with 5, motivated, inspired, happy people, chances are you're bound to be the 6. So how do you go out there and make sure that you're mindful of the associations that you keep around you all day? But on the conversation of limiting beliefs, I'll tell you for myself today, it never goes away. The thing we need to be mindful of is just not feeding it. Whenever that limiting belief shows up, you want to immediately shift your focus, right? So feed the love in your life. Feed the confidence in your life. Feed those parts of you that you want to grow and that you want to have more of. You've probably heard the saying, where focus goes, energy flows. It's the same thing, especially with our thoughts. So and the example I often use is, think of the 99% of your life that you lack confidence. Is there one area of your life, or is there a small area of your life where you're at least 1% confident? Chances are for most people, that's a yes, right? For those of you that are like 99% unorganized, is there one area or a piece of your life where you're at least 1% organized? Maybe you're 99% undriven. Maybe you're 99% unmotivated. Perhaps there's 1% of you in those different areas of your life that you you have that quality or that skill set or that trait that you want. Where are you going to put the focus? Because where focus goes, energy flows. My invitation is that you focus on the 1% confidence, the 1% discipline, the 1% organized, the 1% proactive, and eventually that's going to begin to multiply. And as I had this conversation throughout a lot of different coaching calls, people talk about their fear of failure. This fear of failure, again, is a focus. And if all you focus on is like that failure is this bad, nasty thing, guess what? Life's going to show up with those failure being that big, nasty thing. But in reality, if you were stuck at the top of the mountain and the only thing you had was to get yourself down with, let's say, for me, I'm a skier. I know how to ski. If you put me at the top of the mountain, I'll get myself down. Snowboarding, not so very much. All right. Now it might be switched for some of you that are on the live today, but I want you to think of it this way. If you were stuck at the top of the mountain and all you had, in my case, was a snowboard, you better bet 100% I would find a way to make it down. So many of us are so close to making magic happen, but we just let this fear of failure show up. But the reality is limiting the amount. Going for success means you're going to stumble across failures. KFC, Jesus, Oprah, Tom Cruise. These are all people that are examples that had to overcome big fails to get to where they wanted to go. And it is in our human nature to survive. So I hope you take from our life today that I want you to fail more, not less. I know the school system kind of screws this up for us, but the reality is failure is your doorway to success. I wake up every day not trying to avoid failure, but being willing to fail, knowing that the odds are there are times that I will fail, but that I will fail my way forward. So I want to kind of send you guys off with a little action step, if I may. Think of a limiting belief that you've had up until this point that's held you back from achieving your desired health, a limiting belief that's held you back from achieving a promotion at your job, a desired, outcome that you want to achieve that's maybe stopped because of a limiting belief. Write it down. Start making a list of a handful of other ways that you can work yourself around it. And if some outside guidance, like a conversation or a chat with me would help, do not hesitate to reach out. But I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. I got a lot of comments about how to overcome these limiting beliefs, so I thought I'd just share for the general public as well. Take charge, be great, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.